What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy NBA Tonight, a hoop-ball.com presentation. I'm your host, Vince Miracle, on this beautiful Thursday night. And joining me every single Thursday, you guys know him as the greatest lawyer of all time. I just know him as my amazing co-host, John Sill. John, how you doing?
Doing great.
All right, I have to ask you, though, because it's happening right now, and I'm a bit disappointed by it, but are you watching the Thunder versus the Warriors? Kevin Durant versus Russell Westbrook. It's a blowout.
Yep.
But are you giving up on the Thunder?
No, not yet. I mean, I think it happens all too often where one team gets ahead in the first half, and you'll see a second half surge here. I mean, I think they were projected to lose by double-digit points still, but they'll make a push. It's a game with a lot of runs in it, so they'll get back within, I don't know, maybe they'll get within 10 or so.
Calling it right now. Game's over. Check out. Check, please.
All right.
Check, please. It's over. It's over. I would have bet on the Thunder in this one just because I thought Westbrook would play a little bit better, but 12 points in the first half is just disgusting. Kevin Durant with 29 points in the first half is just ridiculous. This guy is the Durantula. It's just ridiculous here. We got a couple people already in the chat here. F. Cruz Tuba Monaraka says, so glad I have KD on my squad. Me too. I have him in one of my points leagues. It's amazing. Tom Kusek says, can you tell me not to worry about Victor Oladipo? I have an offer of Derek Favors from someone in my league. That's a great way to start this show, because before we answer that, Tom, I want to remind everyone that here on Fantasy NBA Tonight, we like to answer all of your fantasy basketball questions. Now, what do you have to do to get your question here on the show? Do exactly what Tom did. Leave your question down in the live chat, and John and I will answer it live here on Fantasy NBA Tonight. And hey, while you're here watching the show, do us a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button so that we know that you guys are, one, enjoying the show, and two, you like us. That'd be pretty nice. And also, if you can do us another huge favor, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you are one of the unlucky ones who cannot join us live for this show for any given reason, one, time difference, two, you're watching the OKC Thunder game, boring, not really an excuse, especially since it's halftime, or three, you just happen to stumble upon us, you can actually listen to this show either one on YouTube because you hit subscribe, or two, you can listen to it on podcast form. We are now officially a podcast channel. We're not under the Cos and Brew Show anymore. We are under Fantasy NBA Today. You guys can go listen to it. I've actually put the live show, one, down in the live chat, and two, in the description below. So you guys can become podcast subscribers to the show by just clicking on that link there. So without further ado, Tom and John, I know you probably heard the question, but I'll repeat it again. Should Tom be worried about Victor Oladipo? Because right now he has an offer of Derek Favors from someone in his league, and should he accept that offer?
So, if I'm not mistaken, Oladipo kind of came out slow last season too, and then got going later in the year. He's on a brand new team. He's gonna take a little bit of time to adjust to the new system, but I think he'll get rolling. It kind of depends where you took him, but I like his outlook rest of the season. But at the same time, you did have to grab him pretty early, so that's unfortunate at this point. He will bounce back. Derek Favors, that's a very, very tempting offer. I guess they're pretty similar in value. Favors is more of an injury risk. He's really come off really slow so far. He's come back from an injury, but he hasn't played much. But it really depends on the structure of your team. But I'd say they're about equal value rest of the way, to be honest. I don't think you can go wrong taking it or leaving it. I probably lean towards Oladipo just because of health, but that's where I'm sitting right now on that offer.
I'm sticking with Oladipo. I think the upside is with Oladipo. For one, the Derek Favors knees, they scare me. He's been dealing with it since the preseason. He's had issues with the knee before last season. Excuse me, the rock star gets to me. Why do you think I'm always so energetic? No, but the knees, they worry me a little bit about Derek Favors. We've seen it be a history, the injury history from there. Victor Oladipo, you're right. He started off slow last season. Inconsistent games to start the year each year. But I will say this, and I said it earlier today on Fantasy NBA Today. Last year, with Scott Skiles, even with all those restrictions, he was able to finish as a top 40 player. I believe he was actually 37 in 9-cat leagues. That's really good for Victor Oladipo, especially if you're in a 9-cat league. So if you want to, if you believe just as much as I believe that in OKC they will get it figured out. This is a brand new team all over again. Russell Westbrook is going to be the man. He's going to probably take 30 shots a game. That's going to be a given. But at some point, he's going to have to trust somebody else. And the way he's playing is a little bit reckless. So there's a good chance. Hope that doesn't happen because I have him in one of my leagues. There's a good chance that he could possibly get injured. So who's going to have to step up? That's going to be Victor Oladipo. I do believe you can see early third round, late second round value out of Victor Oladipo, where with Derek Favors, I think you're looking at best middle to late third round value. Oh, there's a special appearance of Aaron Brewski on Fantasy NBA tonight. This guy just does not leave me alone. Tom says, appreciate it, brother. I try to come on daily. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that you come on daily and you enjoy the show as much as you can. Movie Dude says, is Cat finally awakened or should I deal him now and move on? Hashtag sophomore slump. Has the cat finally been awoken, John?
Yeah, do not move him. That's all I can say about that. Just hang on to the guy. You spent a first round pick on him, and I mean, no one's gonna. I mean, unless you can get great value back in return for him, there's no point in moving him. Just wait. You saw, in case you didn't catch his box score tonight, he went off, and that's what you can expect. His free throw right now is atrocious on the season, so that's definitely going to bounce back. There's no way he was like 80% last season. There's no way he sticks with his 50-60% that he's shooting right now. So the guy's going to bounce back. I mean, Gorgie Dang's producing real well. I don't see him being the feature big man there. So it's just a matter of once they kind of get things going, maybe it's the new system. But I mean, Cat's just way too talented, way too talented to try to move right now. I mean, unless you're talking about getting someone like Durant. It's just you don't move them. You just be paid.
You wouldn't even get equal value back for what you were looking for if you tried to move Karl-Anthony. So has he been awoken? I don't really even. I mean, he started off slow, but he was still putting up numbers. I wasn't even really thinking he was asleep. I just thought he was stretching. I'll say that. I don't think he was I think he was just yawning and stretching a little bit. Getting loose, and now he got loose a little bit tonight. So I think he's gonna be okay. Don't give up on him yet, Movie Dude. Tom says, it was an auction draft in case you're curious. I do like Derek Favors, though. I will not lie. Maybe I'll look into offering George Hill sell high on another piece. I say sell high on George Hill for sure. I spoke about that earlier today on Fantasy NBA Today with my co-host, Dan Bespris, or the host, Dan Bespris, however you want to look at him. RNX62 said, should I move Markieff Morris or DeMarre Carroll for Jaylen Brown? I think neither. I think you could just stick with both of those guys. Because I mean, Jaylen Brown had one good game. He's a rookie. He's going to be so inconsistent. I would not do that deal at all. I wouldn't move him for anybody. I'd keep with both those guys. Would you move Markieff Morris or DeMarre Carroll for Jaylen Brown?
I'm not a fan of moving guys that I drafted for guys that are just short-term waiver wire ads. So no, I wouldn't. Jaylen Brown has come along better than I expected. I'll give him credit for that. But my opinion is that, he's going to be the starter probably here for the next couple weeks. But Keith and who is it? Oh, DeMarre Carroll. They're both locked in for the season, barring an injury. So Keith's kind of inconsistent up and down, but still, I like the value of every night starter. So I don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Now our next question comes from Pablo. Pablo asks, should I trade this? Or should I trade? I don't know. Why did I say a word that's not even in the sentence? I apologize, Pablo. Let me redo that sentence. Should I accept this trade? Why did I use the word just? I don't know. Jokic for my TJ Warren.
Okay, whoa, really?
If you got offered,
wait, as in he has TJ Warren and someone offered him, yeah, pull it, go run there right now, hit the accept button.
Yeah. You run as fast as you can to your computer or stop what you're doing. I'll look, we'll pause the show right now. Pause. Go, yeah. Pablo. Go, run as fast as you can.
That's got to be a rookie league or something because there's no reason. I mean, let me see, where does Warren even ranked? I mean, he offers like you points. That's it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. He's second round value right now. I get it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Still,
okay.
you,
So
you,
this
you got to go
this
running and do that
still
real quick.
yeah.
Next one is and I'm guessing this is Cat for my. Oh, yep. So should he accept Karl Anthony Towns for his Kawhi Leonard? I'm gonna say pause again. Go get that deal. I mean, I'm okay with that deal.
You're okay with it?
If
Yeah.
you need a big man, Karl Anthony Towns is your guy. And I'm still worried that you're gonna see games rested for Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, you're gonna, Karl Anthony Towns played a full season last year, whereas, Kawhi is bound to miss probably at least 10 games, I think, right? Just from rest, from
I would say
Popovich rest.
I'd say
So,
6 to 10.
yeah,
That's my guesstimation is
yeah.
6 to 10.
I think they're about equal though, as far as value goes. So really, yeah, it depends on team structure, like you said. Big if you need a big man. I'm also still a member. I don't know if you remember last week, but I'm on the Kawhi Leonard MVP train. So
He's
we will
still playing.
see.
I don't know. He's playing well, but there's a
Yeah,
guy who has a pretty big beard that's making a strong case for it right now,
that's
leading the
true.
league in assists. We talked about him a lot. That's James Harden. He's the man. Oh, by the way, it's No Shave November. So the next time we come on this show, John, you better have a beard, or
Oh
at least
man, okay.
or,
All right.
or at least some stubble.
Yeah, I forgot
Next
about that. Yeah. I haven't shaved
next
yet this month.
question.
So.
Next question comes from Super Taco. What up, Super Taco? Thanks for coming back to the show. Should Super Taco hold on to Barnes? I'm guessing this is Harrison Barnes, or is it Matt Barnes? Because I think everyone's going to hang on to Harrison Barnes. So should they hang on to Matt Barnes, John?
If you're in a really deep league, otherwise I wouldn't. I mean, I know we got a lot of Kings homers running this site, but but yeah, I mean he offers very little value off the bench, and he's there pretty much just for his toughness, defense. He's not gonna be getting a lot of shots, not a lot of offensive opportunities, which is what you need in fantasy. So no, I mean don't hang on to him unless you're in a, I don't know, 18-20 league team.
That's not true. He's lying. He's lying. Super Taco, listen to me right now. You can hold on to Matt Barnes if you need the across the board stats. I mean, just having a stat line here in front of me this season already through the first 5 games, he's averaging 8.6 points, 5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 0.8 steals, and 2 3-pointers. So that's gonna be good. The thing that's really killing you though is the field goal percentage. So that's kind of where you're going to have the issues with him. I wouldn't hold on to him unless you know the field goal percentage is going to get up. But what I will say is that his minutes are going to be there. Dave Yeager really seems to enjoy having Matt Barnes on the floor. DeMarcus Cousins wants to have Matt Barnes on the floor. He brings something to that team, like John said, the toughness. So that's something that you're going to want to consider. Tonight was just not a good night for him. They really played
Yeah,
overcast.
tonight
He
was
came back
pretty
from
awful.
sickness. So, but I mean, this is the first time he shot 50%.
Yeah.
In a while. So there you got to take it with a grain of salt. He's going to be a hit or miss guy. That's why he's a waiver wire pickup. But I would not give up on him quite yet unless there's something hot on the waiver wire. Maybe like a Marcus Morris or something like that.
What size of league are you thinking you'd keep him up to?
I think he's good for 12 team leagues.
Okay.
Right
now, Basketball Monsters got him an 18-round value, and that's why I say he's, and I don't know.
It just kind of depends on what you need at the end of your bench.
Yeah, it's very small sample size at this point in the season, but I think he's a on and off team guy all season, to be honest.
Just into one of Pablo's questions about Jokic and TJ Warren. You have David Rumpler, an active watcher of the show. David, thank you for returning to the show. He says, GTFO, Pablo. And then Tom responds by saying, Pablo, let me get in that league, brother.
Yeah, no kidding.
We want in there too. Well, I'll give you TJ Warren. You give me Jokic. I'll take that all day. Next question comes from Alan Fang. What's going on, Alan? Says, what to do with Victor Oladipo? I'm not gonna say that bad word that I almost just said, but he said something that rhymes that's a synonym for poop. Oladipo. So what to do with Victor Oladipo? I think you hold strong. I mean, where the second half is about to begin, though I have a little bit of lag over here, so you guys are probably getting the full-on play. The game has probably already started. Steph Curry has the ball. I'm not going to give you the full play-by-play, but I'm not giving up on Victor Oladipo. I think, like we spoke about a little bit in the beginning, he's a slow starter. Picking it back up. You picked him up in the middle third round for a reason. It's because you think you can beat the upside of what he finished with last season, which I believe was a top 37 player That's off the top of my head. I can take a double look at that, but I believe he was a top 37 player in 9-cat leagues. So that's something that you definitely want to have on your team. The upside is there with OKC. Just give them a minute. The team is adjusting. The team's a brand new team. They'll get it pulled together. Super Taco says that he was talking about Matt Barnes. Movie Dudes asks, any idea when we'll see a Gary Harris sighting? I now have Lynn, Harris, Richardson, and only 2 IR spots. 12-team, 9-cat Yahoo. Whew, you got a lot of injured guys on your team. A lot of injured players.
Man. I actually have Gary Harris in two of my teams, and so right now it's sounding like he's not going to get to play until he gets a practice in. But from what I've heard, it seems like he's going to be back any day soon. So as soon as he gets that practice in, he'll be back. But I'd say I'd expect him back here at the end of next week, maybe. They could use him back though. They're without Will Barton too, and Jamal Murray. Murray had an awful night tonight. So, but you can expect that with rookies. But I think Gary Harris is great value if you hang on to him, and a lot of people slept on him in drafts this year. So
hang on tight. Hang on tight and don't let go. Gary Harris is going to be a player that you want on your team. You're going to have to stick it out. I mean, it's the beginning of the season. You'd rather have these injuries now rather than later. Lynn's out for 2 weeks, and they'll be reevaluated. Hopefully, he'll return then. As for the Gary Harris sighting, he was projected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. I believe we're going on the 4th week mark now, so maybe we're looking at the long end of it. Maybe it won't be till 6 weeks. So you're probably looking at another 2.5 weeks until you see Gary Harris, which is a long time to hold on to a player. Although I will say this, Josh Richardson just got upgraded to questionable for tomorrow night's game. For the good sign. He's been very silent. Miami is normally very silent with their injury, so it's nice to hear that Josh Richardson is now up to questionable. He was doing contact drills. He's a guy who's very tough, who also wants to get back. I believe his timetable was also 4 to 6 weeks. It looks like and this is the 4-week mark for Josh Richardson. I was blurbing about it earlier today. That's why I know so much. So that
I was about to say, man, you got this down.
Thank you. Well, the reason why I know about Gary Harris is because I read about that yesterday. So, bam, dude, you got to do the research so you can win in your leagues. Right now, I'm playing the comeback train right now for some reason. My team is starting off slow for the same reason as you guys. I took the chance on Victor Oladipo. I took the chance on Nikola Jokic in a lot of my leagues, and I'm also holding on to Gary Harris and Josh Richardson. So don't let go of any of those guys. I think if anybody, I think now would be a good time, even with the injury, because he's only out for 2 weeks, it'd be a good time to try and sell high on Jeremy Lin. I'm going to pause the show right here again to once again remind everyone that this is Fantasy NBA Tonight Live. I'm your host, Vince Miracle, and joining me every single Thursday night is the great, the amazing, and if you ever need help with business and you need a lawyer there to defend you, get this guy. His name is John Sill. He is my co-host every single Thursday. This is a hoop-ball.com presentation. I want to thank every single one of you who have taken the time to pause everything that you're doing and taking time away from this boring OKC Golden State game and joined us here on Fantasy NBA Tonight Live, where we like to answer all of your fantasy basketball questions. Now, how do you get a question live answered here on the show? All you have to do is do what everybody else has been doing and leave your questions down in the live chat. I'm monitoring it very closely. John and I will discuss it and give you the advice you need so you can win your league. So no matter the size of your league or what type of league you're in, John and I are here, and we are ready to answer all of your fantasy basketball questions. And hey, if you guys are unfortunate enough to where you could not watch this show live, that's completely okay. Just do us a huge favor. Hit subscribe here on YouTube or go become a subscriber to our brand new iTunes feed. Yes, that's right. Fantasy NBA Today. Type that in on iTunes. You'll find the Hoop Ball logo. Hit subscribe, and hey, while you're there, leave us a rating. And again, while you're here watching this video, why don't you hit that thumbs up button so that you know that we like us and you like this video. As we now head back to the chat board here, John, questions are coming in hot. And a lot of it is about injured players. And we got another question from the one and only Pablo. Pablo, I'm waiting for that invite to your league. Drop Gary Harris for the hot Marcus Morris. This is actually a really good question. I'm gonna answer with a no, but it's a really good question because Marcus Morris has been on fire. Can he keep it up? And would you drop Gary Harris for Marcus Morris, John?
Right now, I guess I don't know. I'd have to look at Marcus Morris's stats, but I know last season, even with like a ton of minutes, I just didn't think he was that efficient of a guy. And I think Gary Harris is, once he gets back, I think he's the type of guy that, he's going to help you out more in your roto leagues, things like that. I mean, Marcus Morris, now I'm looking at it.
He's playing very well to start the season.
Yeah.
Very, very short. But we'll say this, just like we talk about Robert Covington, he's a guy that when he's hot, he can get really hot, but when he's cold, he can get ice cold. As for his stats right now, he's averaging 45% from the field, 76% from the free throw line. He's at getting 2 3-pointers a game, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.2 steals, and no blocks. And he's only turning the ball over about 1.5 times per game. So that's not terrible. That's not a terrible thing to have on your team right now. But Gary Harris is someone that can probably get you those same amount of stats, and he's someone that you're holding on to. So I do think you should try and go get the hot Marcus Morris on your team. I just don't think it's worth losing a guy like Gary Harris, where the potential is there for him to have that breakout year with Denver. I think you're going to see a lot of him playing point guard because Emmanuel Mudiay just isn't doing it that well. I think Gary Harris can play point guard better than Mudiay at times. So a lot of potential in Gary Harris. I would not drop Gary Harris for Marcus Morris, but I do think you need to go pick him up. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, John?
I agree with pretty much everything you say. I think Denver just has so much injury risk that Gary Harris just seems like the right move to do. I mean, I don't know. I really am not a fan of the way of Marcus Morris's fantasy stat set. So it's, right now he's hot, but that could fade very easily.
Next question comes from Alan Fang. Once again, so do you think Oladipo can return his second half numbers from last year? We've been talking. Oladipo is going to be a topic of conversation for a little while now. Same thing with Jokic. These are great buy low moments for these players. You see the questions of worry. If you see it in here and you're not a Victor Oladipo owner, if you're not a Nikola Jokic owner, now would be the time to go after these players. Now, what I will warn you though is do not offer TJ Warren for Nikola Jokic. Because I will laugh at you and hit reject and say you better throw somebody else on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, so Oladipo's bouncing back in this game. He's got 13 points now, only 2 rebounds, so not a whole lot else besides scoring. But he is getting the points going. So it's just a matter of time before things start to click. So
yeah, he's a player. His problem is he doesn't know how to play the pick and roll that well. He can get exposed in the pick and roll. The defense, as long as they clamor him, he's not that great of a passer out of the pick and roll. So that's his biggest issue. But the guy can score, and there's going to be so much attention on Russell Westbrook. All he has to do is figure it out. I think there's just that gelling that has to happen for OKC, and it will get there. I'm not worried about it at all. Again, excuse me, Rockstar gets to me. Rob Van Nistelrooy. Again, I can never pronounce your name, Rob, but I do appreciate. And thank you again for returning to the show. It says, I've got Jokic and Cantor. Neither guy is getting decent minutes. True. Is it bad D? Question mark. Will they get more minutes going forward? Are you worried about the minutes that Jokic and Cantor are seeing? Because honestly, I'm not too worried. But the cancer situation is starting to make me scratch my head a little bit because I thought he'd be getting a lot more minutes. The fact that they got Jeremy Grant now, he's going to be taking minutes. Is it taking minutes from Sabonis? Why is Sabonis starting in front of Cantor?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of question marks there. And can Jeremy Grant surpass Domantas Sabonis in the starting role? Because I think that's a question mark that can potentially be answered here soon. I think that's why you're seeing a good game from Sabonis defensively and passing the basketball, but Grant can bring the defense. So are you worried at all about, one, the minutes that Jokic and Cantor are getting? And do you think it's because of bad defense? And do you think they'll get more minutes moving forward? A lot of questions. I'm putting pressure on you.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, Cantor, I mean, that's always been his issue is the defense. He's a pretty one-sided guy out there on the court, and they say his defense did improve last season, but he's pretty much crap on defense. So tonight he's not getting the love. Grant is getting actually a lot of minutes. He's pretty much playing sixth man tonight. Jokic thing, yeah. I mean, that's just coaching there. That's just how they do it in Denver.
That's Michael Malone.
That's just always going to be a concern. I mean, yeah, he probably won't get. You want your early round picks all getting those 30+ minutes, those starter minutes, and that's there is cause for concern there just because. Malone is so unpredictable, and even with his big man rotation, you just never know. But there is always a chance Freed maybe gets traded this season, in which case it's like he's got to play both big men. But we will see. Regardless of minutes, Jokic is going to get your production. Cantor is, in my opinion, low end value anyways. So if things don't get better soon, you could consider trying to shop him.
Yeah, I think with Jokic, the thing about him is that he actually is playing defense. I mean, if you
Mhm.
watch tonight, he was the guy guarding Karl Anthony Towns. He was the guy guarding Jonas Valanciunas. He was the guy guarding Anthony Davis. So he's had some tough matchups. He's had to go up with
Mhm.
him as a starter now this year. I think he's going to figure it out. I think he's arguably their best passer on the
Oh
floor,
yeah,
and especially when they can use him in that high post. I do think that the pairing with Nurkic has set him back a little bit in terms of getting acclimated as a starter and things like that. But I do also believe that you're seeing Michael Malone trying to showcase some players, trying to
yeah,
showcase Kenneth Faried, and being the main guy in his way for minutes. I also think that they're really looking into the small ball lineups and what Wilson Chandler can do as a stretch four. And because Nurkic is playing so well, you can't really take him off the floor. I don't think Nurkic is going to stay that hot all season long, but I don't think he's going to come down that much either. I think they're going to all level out at some point. I think Jokic is going to be someone that you want to own when the season continues to progress, because it was just last season. He was just under a block a game, or maybe it was a block and a half a game. I'll pull up his stats here in just a second. But he was getting you a steal and a half, 7 rebounds. So even in his limited minutes, he's producing. It's just you want to see
Mhm.
more from a guy that a lot of people took in the second round. I took him at the end of the second round in a lot of drafts, but I took the risk on him because I do see the upside that is there. So I'm not worried about his minutes. Again, the Cantor situation is making me scratch my head. But I do think he's still going to be a constant double-double guy every time he does step on the floor. He's going to be someone that you want to own. But this may be a good situation now to where once he has a couple of good games in a row, you might want to sell high because there's so many. They now have depth at that power forward center
Yeah.
position, which could cause minutes to become in question for Enes Cantor.
But and that was the situation last year too. So maybe you can just expect similar numbers, which people did expect him to improve because there was less depth. But now that it's similar, maybe just the same numbers for Cantor as last season.
So just to run down the stats here of what Jokic is averaging from last season to this year. Last year, when he was playing, he was shooting 51% from the field, 81% from the free throw line, getting you 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 1 steal, and 0.6 blocks on 1.3 turnovers per game. That was when he was getting those limited minutes. Now, this season, he is averaging 13.3 points, 9.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.3 steals and 3 turnovers. Now, over this past week, 0.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 2 steals, half a block, and 2.5 turnovers. So he's starting to pick it up. The games will start coming. He'll be hit or miss on a couple of them, but as the season progresses, he's going to get better. That's why I'm saying this is a strong buy low moment for a guy like
Mm-hmm.
Victor Oladipo and definitely for a guy like Nikola Jokic. So if you're getting offered TJ Warren for Nikola Jokic, go get him. Is it bad that I keep going back to that joke?
I think people were found it humorous too, so don't worry about it. Um, on that,
All right.
I don't know how many of the people here were draft guide buyers,
Subscribers.
but we had an article. Well, I wrote it, but it was about second half studs, and I have to look. I don't know. I can't find it right now. But anyways, joke like the numbers you rattled off on Jokic last season. His numbers that second half of the season were just phenomenal. I mean, he posted early round value if I can remember, but so it's he may not be the type of guy you want to play. In your you may never know what he's going to produce for like FanDuel or something like that. But if you just take his averages over the course of the season, he'll be fine. He'll get things going.
Next question comes from Alan Fang. Once again, it says, "Is Drew Holiday worth the stash if I don't have an IR spot in my league?" Uh, John, I'll let you answer that one first.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the size of your league. I know some guys are really high on him. I have never touched Drew Holiday
We're gonna.
inappropriately because 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 he's that. I mean, not just him, but it seems that whole team is an injury risk. The whole starting lineup there. Um, he's just always getting hurt, and yes, I know he produces when he's on the court. You're talking about third round value and stuff, but at this point, and yeah, he's not injured, but we honestly don't know what to expect out of him right now about when he's going to return. He's got his personal life situation, and that's fine that he's got to take care of that. But you just really don't know when he's coming back. So that's kind of my issue with him.
No, I have him in a league where that doesn't have an IR spot. It's a 12 man head to head. And
Yeah.
I'm holding on. I'm holding on tight. I mean, there's a report by Zach Lowe of ESPN earlier this afternoon, or to just say earlier today, since this is Fantasy NBA Tonight, a hoop-ball.com presentation.
Awesome.
Thank you. But they're saying that they're hopeful that Drew Holiday can return between mid to late November, which I think is great timing.
That would be great value if he does that. Yeah.
He's a top 75 guy and potentially even higher than that. The fact that
Oh yeah.
this team needs him and Anthony Davis is playing out of his mind. I think you're going to see Tim Frazier and Drew Holiday play together in the backcourt. I don't think Tim Frazier is going anywhere. I think he's proven that he deserves minutes on this team. So yes, I do think if Drew Holiday is sitting out there, he is worth the stash. Because if Ricky Rubio is worth the stash and he's out indefinitely, you can be sure that I'm holding on to Drew Holiday before I'm holding on to Ricky Rubio, because Drew Holiday has such a diverse and versatile skill set and stat set that he brings to your team. So you're going to want to have him on your roster.
He's a top 30 guy. It's just, I mean, he's incredible, but and I haven't been in a league where I see him available. He always gets drafted. I'm not the type that's going to draft a risky play like him. That's all.
It's scary. He slips, he falls, he's out for 3 months. It's scary.
Yeah, I'm just a conservative player.
You're not the only one. Dan Bespris is the exact same thing. Andre Francisco. What's going on, Andre? He says, I'm in a 10-team league. Does it make sense to drop Rubio and start streaming players in daily changes head-to-head 9-cat? This is actually a really good question. Yeah. John, do you think it's time to drop Ricky Rubio, even though he's out indefinitely with an elbow sprain, in a 10-team 9-cat?
So it depends who's out there. I mean, if you said you're gonna stream daily, I probably wouldn't at this point, to be honest. Rubio really has a lot of value. Yeah, for right now I'd probably hold, but it really depends. If you get behind and you're feeling like you're really missing that extra player, every team that you play against in that 10 team league, I bet, is going to deal with some injuries. So you're not going to be the only one missing production. So for now, I'd probably hold, but if you're struggling and you're getting behind in the rankings, then yeah, in a daily league, it's probably okay to start swapping them out if you want.
Just on a quick side note here, people worried about Victor Oladipo. He has 21 points and has knocked down 4 3-pointers in a game that is a blowout. He's starting to pick things up right now. He just has no assist because Steven Adams missed the floater. Yeah. Sorry, again, tangent. Back to your question here. Would I start streaming Ricky Rubio in a 10-team? Yeah, I think there's going to be players out there that you can start streaming, especially in a 10-team. There's going to be players out there that you can pick up. It just depends on what your team needs, though. I mean, do you believe that Ricky Rubio is going to come back, and do you need his assist numbers? Then, yeah, maybe that's someone needed to go pick up. But if there's a guy like Drew Holiday sitting out there, I would rather have Drew Holiday. If there's another guy like maybe Tim Frazier. I mean, Tim Frazier, the last time I checked, he was only owned in 45% of leagues. So he's only on half a league. So he's someone that you definitely want to go get if you just need some quick assists, need some points. So there's players out there you can get, especially in a 10-man league. So I say it's not a bad idea to start streaming those players, but Ricky Rubio is still a good fantasy asset to have on your team.
What are we thinking? What is your projection on how long Rubio's out?
Oh, out indefinitely with an elbow, elbow sprain.
Is that 2 months?
I'll say this. No, 2 months. I'll say this. When I was like, I was 9 years old. I think it might have been a little bit younger, maybe like 7 years old. I was swinging on a tree branch, landed on my elbow. Story time with Vince Miracle here on NBA Night. I was swinging on a tree, landed on my elbow, sprained it, didn't break anything. I was out for a month and a half. So 2 months. I just think that's a little too long. These guys are NBA players. I'm a fat, chunky kid. I mean, they're healthy. They're healthy, young individuals. I think that he can come back. Plus, he's not really that shooter. So what's he need the elbow for? Just to make the pass? Come on now.
That's true. Yeah, and actually, so in the box score, when I'm looking at Chris Dunn, it's just like him and his stat line, and Rubio. It's they're almost mirroring each other. It's pretty wild that they're so similar in the way they produce and for fantasy purposes.
In a 10-team league, if you need assists, Chris Dunn and steals, Chris Dunn can basically be your guy right
He
now.
could pretty
If
much
you
be a
need the minutes.
replacement. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't think it's a bad idea, but at the same time, if you want the assist numbers and you think he's coming back soon, I'd hold on to him at least until you get an update. There has been no update, if anyone's asking. Uh, Lamb Lucas P. What's up, Lamb Lucas P? Says, you think Jabari continues to shoot threes for the Bucks team?
As far as I know, I mean, I thought that was the plan. So yeah, I mean that's what I had heard going into the season was that he was going to shoot some threes this year, and it looks like, I mean, tonight he got it going. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
tonight he had 4 3-pointers. I guess him
Yeah.
and Victor Oladipo are like, hey, let's just shoot a ton of 3-pointers tonight. But right now on the season, he's only averaging 0.3, which is only
Hmm.
0.2 more than what he averaged last year. I think with the addition of Tony Snell, Matthew Dellavedova is a good 3-point shooter. You have Mirza Teletovic there. I don't think he has to shoot as many 3-pointers as people are expecting him to,
Yeah.
but
He just
they
needs to
do
score
need.
points.
But he does need to start stretching out the floor a little bit more for guys like Giannis. He needs to become more of a versatile threat. I am a huge fan of Jabari Parker. I spoke about it all through the offseason, how I think Jabari Parker was going to be really good this year, especially after the injury. You guys can go check back on all of those shows on the Fantasy NBA Today podcast, located on iTunes. Just type in Fantasy NBA Today and hit subscribe. Another great plug, right? Bam.
Just rolling in them.
I know they're just fitting in with the story
Yeah.
with the chat board today. But yeah, we talked about it. Dan and I talked about Jabari Parker. He's going to be a versatile player. I think he's going to be a star in this league. I think he could. I think he has the potential as long as if he can start learning how to knock down 3-point shots and develop that, he could be becoming like the next Carmelo Anthony. I'm throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there.
I could see him getting close to 20 points a game this year, even.
The 3-pointers is what makes him like Melo. So he needs to develop the threes.
Yeah.
Carlos T says, I'm also asking about Ricky Rubio. Yeah, I mean, again,
Yeah.
everyone's going to be asking about Ricky Rubio. Do you own him? Do you not? It's a huge question mark. You have to take that risk. All I'll say is if you need the assists and there's nothing else out there for the assists and these steals that Rubio gives you, don't drop him. But if you're ready to start streaming him, I don't think that's the worst idea either. So, Tom Kuzek says, any news on Hayward at all? Tempted to sell high on George Hill, as you said. When is the right time to do so when it comes to sell high? I think whenever. I mean, to sell high. But what have you heard any updates during your time with Hayward?
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, I've got Hayward in my keeper league, and I kept him, so I've been following him. But what I heard was he had actually said he's trying to come back. I think he's saying it by the end of next week. So we're looking at he's going to be kind of closer to the front end of his injury timeline of his 4 to 6 weeks or so that he was going to miss. It looks like he's going to be coming more towards the front end of it. It was on shooting they broke the finger on, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue as far as getting back into the swing of things. As far as George Hill, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Hayward comes back, George Hill's going to start losing shots. He's a very efficient guy and he gets the job done, but right now his value is much higher than I would expect rest of the season. So if you can sell him high, I don't see why not. He fits that team nicely, but he's not going to keep averaging 21 points a game. I could see him dropping down more towards around, I don't know, 14, 15 kind of thing. That'd be optimistic.
I have 14 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 14 points is exactly where I have them. 14 points. I think the assist numbers can stay the same with like 4.6, maybe even drops down like 3.9. Yeah. I think that's the range where you're kind of looking at it. The reason why they brought George Hill to the team is because, one, he can run a team. They needed a point guard that has the experience. George Hill has that, but also he's a knockdown 3-point shooter.
Oh,
and he's going to continue to bring that. Gordon Hayward's going to have the ball in his hands. Rodney Hood's going to have the ball in his hands as wing players that can initiate the offense. You've seen that with Rodney Hood so far. I don't think George Hill's minutes are going to be in jeopardy at all. He's still going to get the minutes, so he's still going to have those games. I think now would be the best time to sell high on George Hill. Now, no, people know who George Hill is. He's not like an unknown name. So when they see 21 points a game and they're going to see that Derek Favors is limited, they're going to see that Gordon Hayward is out. You have to know that by selling high, that people, as long as they do their research, they know that he's not going to average 21 points a game. So be a little tempered with whatever you're offering. Rob Van, I'm going to try again. Nice Steroy. That was worse than the first try. I know. I'm sorry. Would you trade Dragic for Oladipo? Oh, that's a
Like,
great question.
would I give up Dragic for Oladipo? Is
Yeah,
that is that?
that's a great. Yeah, I think that's the question. Would
Yeah.
you trade Dragic for Oladipo? That's a great question.
I would probably. Oh, yeah. I mean,
That's a great question. Let me come back to that one. Let me think about that because I'm a
it's,
huge fan of Dragic this year. We're gonna come back to that one, John. We got to come
okay.
back to it.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fair.
So David says, nice Telroy. Oh, is that how you pronounce it? Nice Telroy.
What's a Telroy?
It's this. This is how you pronounce the name. The spell it. Niestel. Nice Telroy.
Oh, that's a name. I thought you.
Oh, the things we do here on Fantasy NBA tonight. That's why you come on now. Lamb Lucas P says, Rob, no, Dragic is a stud and seems to be finding his role on a team desperate for scores. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You're making an argument in my head. Stop it, Lamb. Oh, I am. It's an I, not an L. I call him Lamb Lucas. It says I am Lucas. Bam. Things that happen here on Fantasy NBA tonight with on Thursdays with me and John Sill. Movie dude. Actually, first off, Alan Fang, why are you deleting messages? Come on now. We want to see. Movie dude says, will the Kings limit Collison's minutes when he comes back? John, I'll let you answer that one first.
You're the Kings guy. I don't know, man. You tell me. I would hope they just let him get in there and just start running the show, because I have him in a team on one of my teams. But I mean, I don't think Lawson's really done that much to warrant limiting Collison at all. To be honest, yeah.
Terrible.
So it's like bring in Collison, let him light the fire under the offense, and let him start rolling. I think.
Yeah. Thank you for teeing this up for me. Because I was just trying to find the nice way of saying this. Ty Lawson has been terrible. Ty Lawson has been terrible. He just does not run the team. He does not command the offense the way that Darren Collison does. It's not like Collison's out with injury right now. He's out on suspension, so it's not like he can't be running. It's not like he can't be keeping in shape. It's not like he can't be playing basketball inside of a gym. It just can't be the Sacramento Kings arenas. So I do think he'll be ready. I do think that he's going to be coming off the bench. Limited minutes. I don't know if it'll be limited minutes, but I do think at least this. I'll say this: he'll be limited probably in the first 2 games, maybe even just the first game.
Yeah,
just so he can get his NBA legs back and get his conditioning fully in order. Because I mean, the NBA game, although we watch it on TV, it seems like, and he's a quick player. He uses his speed and his ability to change gears to get past defenders. But this team needs him. I mean, yeah, if you watch the Magic game today, the Kings are on a 3-game losing streak right now, and they're on a losing streak because they have no third scorer. They have Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins, who went 14 of 31, and the rest of the team, I believe, went 13 of 41. So it maybe it was even worse than that. So I mean, the team needs a third score. The team needs a leader, along with DeMarcus Cousins and Rudy Gay, and it can't just be Matt Barnes. It needs to be someone who can score multiple different ways. And that's exactly what Darren Collison can bring. So if he's out there on waivers, you need to go pick him up, even if he's limited in his minutes. So yeah, I do think he can be limited in his first couple games, but he's going to see 30 minutes a night, and you need him on your team. Alan Fang, who's the winner if/when a Monroe trade happens? Henson? I guess it kind of depends on when Monroe gets traded to, but hashtag free John Henson.
Yeah, I mean, you think so, but I don't. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know who to. I feel like a kid's just as hard to trust as some of the other coaches in this league. Tonight, Henson was a DNP, so it's kind of like, does he even like the guy? I don't know, but his options are fairly limited. Who's he going to run out there? Thon Maker, I guess, or just roll? I guess the option of just running Parker at the 4 all the time and Plumlee at center, but it's really not many options off the bench besides Monroe.
It has to be Henson. Henson's going to be amazing. Then Miles Plumlee can be their bench guy. He needs to stop starting anyway. John Henson needs the minutes. Hashtag free John Henson. I have a trade. This is a real life trade, not a fantasy trade. You tell me if you accept this. You're the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
All right. Now, I don't know if the contracts match up, so we might have to work some deals out with the contracts. But would you do this deal? Would you trade Justin Anderson for Greg Monroe?
Justin Anderson for Greg Monroe if I'm Dallas.
They need a big man. They
They
have
do need a
potential.
big man.
They have they have Dwight Powell, but they don't use him enough.
They got Bogut.
Who's injury prone.
Yeah. That's tough because I know they're really high on Anderson. They're really high on him. And I doubt the contracts line up at all.
How about this? How about this then? I think there's an even better deal that could be had because I still think that they want a big man because I don't think they're going to free John Henson. Would you do a Tyson Chandler for Greg Monroe deal if you're Phoenix?
If I'm Phoenix, yeah, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat if I'm Phoenix.
I think so too. I honestly, I think another reason why I say that is because I think you can roll out an Alex Len and Greg Monroe lineup.
I just think
I need to be.
I just Tyson Chandler's just not. He just doesn't fit anything for I'm a Suns fan, but it was, and I know they went after him just to. It was just that for that sole reason, that offseason of trying to make a push for LaMarcus Aldridge, but he doesn't fit with that team. I mean, he's older, and the Suns are a growing youth movement, and it just doesn't make sense for him. They need to put him on a team where, he can play with a more veteran group that actually has a chance at the playoffs, so he doesn't just waste away the rest of his career. And I feel bad for the guy. So it's just anything that can move Tyson Chandler would be great, especially if you're going to get a decent talent like Greg Monroe. I mean, that's good value.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't fit what they're doing. Are they doing the youth movement? Are they actually trying to win games? Because they're not going to win games. And honestly, I think it was a bad decision to keep Earl Watson as your head coach. But they did what they did. Also, OKC trying to make a comeback in the fourth, 72-98. Golden State Warriors getting a huge lead over this team. As you hear
his favorite thing is to walk by and give the little peace sign.
Peace sign again? I didn't see. I didn't get to
flashes a little hand wave.
But I mean, I just think that team is so confusing. I don't know what Phoenix is trying to do over there, but this will be a good time while Aaron Brewski's doing the peace side to pause the show and remind everyone that this is Fantasy NBA tonight. We have about 10 minutes left here on the show, so if you want to get your question answered live here on the show, all you have to do is do what everyone else has been doing this whole entire show for the last hour almost, and that's put your question down in the live chat. I'm monitoring it very closely, and John and I will answer it live here on the show to answer all of your fantasy basketball questions so you can continue winning in your league and hopefully, winning it all. But when the season is all said and done. Also, while you guys are here, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button so that we know that you guys like this show. Comment down in the comment section below after this show is over to say, hey, guess what, guys? You guys are amazing because guess what? We read all the comments. We see all of your guys' questions, and we'll answer them even on Fantasy NBA.
And we really are amazing.
Plus, you're getting the two. You're getting the best looking guy on YouTube with me, and then not only that, you get the best lawyer on YouTube. So you need us. You need us, and then on top of that, put our minds together. We're the best fantasy players here at Hoop Ball. So you need us here. Things just get crazy here on Fantasy NBA, and I thank you all.
I know the second you're on a podcast with one of our other writers, you're going to say the same exact thing.
No one talks about chili the way you do.
Oh man, that's good to know you remember that. Thank you. So we don't forget about it. Do you want to approach that Dragic question?
No, I'm still not ready to answer that.
It's
gonna be the. I still see it. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Because I haven't made a decision, and I'm also still watching Victor Oladipo play.
Yeah.
From David Rumpler. Apart from today's fiasco, should I sell high on Gorgie Dang?
So it depends how high.
I say no.
It depends how high you're talking. Right now he's so far I think he's like first or second round value so far in the season. No, he's dropped to third after tonight's. Is this right? Yeah, after tonight's thing, he dropped to third round value, I guess. So even with that, though, I mean that's on the season though. I have him as around third, fourth round value somewhere in there is where I projected him. So if you're able to sell him for a guy that really is truly top two round value, sure, but otherwise I just hold. The guy has a great stat set. He's efficient in both percentages and he plays defense. So he's not going to get off the court that much. I mean, he's going to be in the coach's favor. So I say hold him. Don't move him.
The guy is averaging 14.3 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.7 steals, and 1.7 blocks, and only turning the ball over one time. Not only that, he's shooting 87% from the free throw line and 64% from the field. If you're selling high on him, you better be getting a second-round pick. And on top of that, you better be getting a second-round pick with potential.
Yeah.
So I'm not selling high on him at all. This guy is going to get the minutes. Tom Thibodeau plays his starters more than he – Tom Thibodeau plays his starters until they're falling down broken and they cannot get up. Like, they need a life alert button if they get tired, because that's how far down in the ground Tom Thibodeau runs his starters. So I wouldn't sell him high at all. I think he's someone that you definitely need to hold on to. I don't think that this is him doing a first 2-week fluke. I think these are numbers that you can expect from Gorgui Dieng moving forward. Maybe his 14 points go to 12, but I don't think the rebounding numbers are going anywhere. I don't think the blocking numbers are going anywhere. I think this is the type of stat line you can expect from Gorgui Dieng for an entire season. How was your day today? Oh, thank Carlo T. Thanks for one. We appreciate you asking that question, because you know what? No, I'm not even gonna answer it first. John, how was your day today?
My day was kind of a mixed bag, but overall, I say it was pretty good.
Okay, how about this? How has your fantasy day been today?
How's my fantasy day? Great.
Are you winning this week?
So actually, the league that I'm actually most pleased with has been our hoop ball league, and yeah, I'm. Let's see, who am I playing against?
Not
I don't
me.
know. Yeah, not
me.
you.
I'm playing John Schifferly. Get ready
I'm playing
to
Flintheart Glomgold. Who's that?
That's Dan Bespris.
Dan Bespris. Tearing Dan a new one.
Hey, Dan, shots of fire.
I'm up 7-1-1. So.
See, I'm about
how's
to
that
check my
taste,
score.
Dan?
We talk all that ish here on Fantasy NBA tonight. Take that, Dan Bespris. What's up? Next question. Yeah. Oh, by the way, my day's been great. By the way, Carlo, thank you again for asking. Yeah, I've just been working all day. You guys saw me on Fantasy NBA today. I got to, train some new riders here for hoop ball. Shout out to Matt, one of our brand new riders. I'm winning in a majority of my leagues except for one, because I have a lot of my injury guys as well on that team waiting to come back in, and it's a points league, so it's a little bit more difficult to get my points going when not my full team isn't healthy. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for your question, Carlo T. Thanks for checking in on us. I appreciate it. Alan Fang, do you see Jeremy Grant making an eventual impact in 12-team head-to-head leagues? Oof, that's a great question.
That's a good question. Small sample size tonight, but yeah, I think the Thunder need defense, and I think he can do that. Impact in what size league did you say?
I gotta pause it, Rob. I see that you're getting tired and you want to go to bed. Don't go to bed. We're ready to answer your question. Are you trading Goran Dragic for Victor Oladipo, John?
All
Rob,
right.
No.
Am I trading? If I have Goran Dragic, I'm going to say no. I prefer Dragic over Oladipo, I think, because I think Dragic's stat set is going to be similar to like when he was the alpha male there in Phoenix. He offers, across the board stat production. It's pretty tough to say no to Oladipo, but I think as in a redraft league, yeah, this year I'm pretty high on Dragic because there's really not a whole lot of competition for touches there in Miami.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say it.
I'm
sticking with Dragic.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go against me there.
No, I've said his name all season long. I said he's a player that you're going to want to draft in drafts. And if I would have said Oladipo, one, it would have contradicted everything that I said about how high I was on Goran Dragic. People got him in like the 5th round. I think he's going to have early 4th round value this season. So he's going to beat his ADP. He's a guy that you're going to want on your team. So, Rob, don't make that trade. Just hold on tight. See if you can do a different combination, maybe a 2-for-1 deal for Oladipo. Try and buy him low, but I don't think you need to sell Dragic for Oladipo. It's just not worth it. Hold on. Now you can go to sleep and dream about Fantasy NBA tonight. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good night rest. Going back to the question, it was from Alan Fang again. It was Jeremy Grant, and it was a 12-team head-to-head leagues. Do you think he'll make an eventual impact there?
12-team might be a little bit of a stretch. To be honest, I don't know much about his stat set from last season, so maybe this is something you're best left to answer. But I do think he does offer value with his defense. I know he gets decent blocks for a guy, and if he can play, at least I don't know, maybe 20 minutes a game, I think maybe I don't know 12-team though. Let's
Last
let
season,
you
he
let you have it.
Last season, he shot 41.9% from the field, 65% from the free throw line, 0.5 3-pointers, 9.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.6 blocks, and 1.4 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
This season, he's averaging 7.3 points, 3 rebounds, 0 steals, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, and 2 blocks per game. So the blocks are going to be there. He's a nice guy to own in blocks. I just do not think that he's going to be a guy that is going to be worthy in 12 team unless there's an injury happens to Cantor or Sabonis to where he has to be played a lot more. But I just don't think
He's too much of a specialist, huh?
Yeah, he's just too much of a defense. He's
Is that him
I
right
mean
there, number 9? Or who's that?
that's
Yeah, he just
Iguodala.
threw down a monster cross Jordan and threw down a pick.
Oh, I see him right there. Number 9. He's
Yeah,
number 9 for OKC. I thought you were
yeah.
talking. I thought you were talking about Andre. All right, move on to the next question. I am Lucas. Said, are you buying into Tobias Harris's fast start?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll take this one if you don't mind. Yeah, I was real high on Tobias coming into the season. I think I've got him, and I think I took him in the third round of our hoop ball league, and he's one of my keepers. Yeah, I mean he was a second half stud in that article. In case anybody read it, his second half stud for when he after the trade. And they like him there in Detroit. I think he's going to get the shots even when Reggie Jackson comes back. I think he's going to, and the 20 points a game that he hasn't. I don't think he's hit that yet on a season. Over the course of a season, but he's always really close. And I like his game. He's also a guy that you can compare maybe to Carmelo, but just kind of falls short in scoring. But he's been compared to Carmelo for most of his career. But I think yeah, third, fourth round value. I think he stays up there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be fourth round value. I think he'll be like early to mid fourth round value. I don't think he's gonna peak into the third round at all. I do think this is a fast start that will come down, but he's much needed on that team. I think he's the right fit for that team, especially next to Andre Drummond. I don't think he's gonna have that Marcus Morris effect, but at the same time, I do think this is a great sell high moment for Tobias Harris because I don't think it's gonna be
He
as
can't
high as it's
maintain
been.
that field goal, right?
Yeah, his field goal percentage is definitely going to go down for sure. I mean, I like Tobias Harris. I think he's fallen into the mask. It makes him better, so that's why he's getting so much attention. But the stats are going to be there for him. I just think he's going to be in and out of the fourth round, and I just don't think he'll ever get to the third round value. But he's worthy of owning in leagues. He's going to be a fun person to own because of the fact that he gets you threes. Just to run down his stats right now, he's shooting 58% from the field, 85% from the free throw line, 1.8 3-pointers per game, 20.8 points, 5.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.4 blocks, but he's doing 2.6 turnovers per game. Last year, he shot 46.9% from the field. So right now, he's shooting 58.2. So it's gonna definitely come down. I just think this is a great sell high moment for a guy like Tobias Harris.
So right now, yeah, he is in third round value. So if he comes back to his regular field goal percentage, let's say he drops to maybe around, I don't know, 18.5 on the season points and maybe 1.5 threes. Yeah, I definitely could see him being, like we're talking about, that middle fourth round then.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I just saw Sabonis trying to do a spin move on Varejao. Varejao swatted the ball away, then moved, and Sabonis fell over, and it was just like, when big guys fall slow, it's even like a lot slower. It made it look funnier. I'm sorry. The little things amuse me. Speaking of the Golden State game, Movie Dude says Vince is right about the Golden State Warriors game. They're just making an example out of OKC. Hashtag stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. F. Cruz Tuba Monaco Car said Brewski must have been talking about when he did the peace sign in the back. There he is, AB, the one and only, the founder of hoop-ball.com. Go bookmark it and be sure to check into it every single day for all of your daily fantasy news. Movie Dude says, should I drop Ennis the day Parsons returns? I think you should go get Parsons right now and drop Ennis today. Parsons should be returning in the next week or so. Yuha, E-U-H-A. I'm going to go with Yuha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correct. Jordan Hamilton has been dropped. Pick him up right now. I think he means Justin Hamilton. But yeah, do you think he should go picked up right now?
Justin Hamilton? Oh, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I guess it depends on your league size and depth and things like that. I've got him in one of my leagues, but in like my standard set leagues right now, I'm not forcing the issue. So it just kind of depends. He's kind of like a borderline guy, I think.
He's going to be a top. I mean, we here at Hoop Ball
I
and
know,
the
I know. I
Brewski
have
150,
Brewski.
the Brewski 150 in one other site were the only ones to have uh, Justin Hamilton on our radars.
Hmm.
So, and I believe he had them in the. I'm not going to give that away. You guys got to go purchase the
Yeah.
Brewski 150 and go to hoop-ball.com and become a premium in-season subscriber so we can give that stuff away here on Fantasy NBA tonight. And to become that, the link is down in the description below. Go do that. But we do think highly of him. Although I do think the Jeremy Lin injury, the fact that he's out, they're going to need a primary player, and I think that's going to be Brook Lopez. And so the offense is going to be ran through him a little bit, which takes minutes away from Justin Hamilton. So I don't think he's a rush to go get him right now, but he's someone that you want to have on your watch list and maybe you want to pick up, but you just got to know that he's going to be hit or miss for a lot of these games.
Speaking of Brook Lopez, were you aware that that guy can shoot threes?
I was aware that he was trying to shoot threes.
Okay, so I'm playing against him this week in one of my leagues, and I think he dropped 4 3-pointers or something like that.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
so that kind of made.
Tonight?
I think
Tonight?
last night was it last
Oh,
night?
oh my, that's gross.
Yeah, and
Stop
so
it.
especially when I'm down in threes now by just a couple,
Yeah, he
that kind of
drank
thing's
four
frustrating.
three-pointers.
Is it
Ew.
did he? Yeah. So
That's gross.
I don't. When's the last time he hit ever? I don't know, 2 in a game. I didn't think he was a 3-point shooter.
Not never. Rob Van said, "I got to go to bed. Still waiting here." Okay, we answered that for you, Rob. I hope you did. Oh, says no. Cool. Thanks for the feedback. I'm loving Dragic right now, but Oladipo has so much potential. I'll stick with Dragic for now. Think about it. You're gonna be thinking about it all night long while you're trying to go to sleep, just fidgeting on your fingers. At least that's what I do when I'm thinking about trades. Movie Dude says, "If you stick with Dragic, the Oladipo drama will go on for another few weeks." So. There you go. I am Lucas says if you need more assists and field goals, stick with Dragic. If you need more steals and points, go with Oladipo. So you guys are talking with one another. We love it. Go to our forums over at hoop-ball.com and continue going on with the conversation. Tom Kusick says Verjau's in the game. Well, all we need is a little JaVale McGee. Alan Fang says you guys are dope. You've gotten my subscription. Thanks, guys. Alan,
Thank you,
sir.
Alan.
Appreciate it. We love the support. We definitely appreciate it. Go on iTunes, leave us a rating if you can. Movie Dude says, is Covington worth more than a trade throw-in right now? No, he's not.
He's struggling.
Is he worth? He is struggling. Do you think that he's worth dropping right now?
It depends. It depends what's on the waivers, but I mean, I feel like he's got to end up producing at some point. I mean, there's really not a lot of options there for scores, but I don't have him. I don't have him on any teams. I didn't have him on any teams last year either. So
if he
I think probably options you could drop him for now until he bounces back.
I'll just say this: if someone dropped Robert Covington, I'm going to go get him.
Yeah.
So that's how you know. That's how you know you don't really want to drop him. Mm-hmm. Is he more than a throw in on a trade right now? No, he's not more than that because he's struggling so bad. But when he's cold, he's ice cold, and when he's hot, he's super hot. He'll get you the steals, the 3-pointers. His field goal percentage is always going to vary. But this guy's a good basketball player, and he's worthy of owning a roster spot in your leagues. It's just he's ice cold right now, and if you drop him, you're going to have me go into your league just to pick him up. So there you go. Yuha says 9-cat head-to-head. Steven Adams and Nurkic for Miles Turner. Which side do you like more?
One more time, Steven Adams and Nurkic for Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
Ooh, man. I'm pretty high on Miles Turner.
I'm really high on Miles Turner. I don't know if I can give up Miles Turner for those guys. I mean, I see the stats they're there. I mean, with Steven Adams and Nurkic, you're probably getting the same amount of blocks.
But you gotta think of it this way: Miles Turner plus any other man, in that spot. I feel like any other center plus Miles Turner. I feel like you're gonna win that, even if it's some waiver wire center.
I don't think Miles Turner is going away with any of his stats either. I'm really high on Miles Turner. I would consider it, squint, think about it for a day, stinker tinker time on it, and still say no. It come down to that though. Ben Carnado, Ben, what's going on, buddy? Says I got Wiggins. I want Tobias Harris. Will the trade go through? So I'm guessing he's offering Wiggins for Tobias Harris. Do you think that's a good deal? And two, do you think that deal goes through?
Um, I think the winner of that trade is Tobias Harris. I told people, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, even though I'm wearing my KU shirt, even though I'm a KU guy, Wiggins, I'm not a fan of him in fantasy because his stat set just doesn't appeal to me. It's too lopsided. Whereas Tobias Harris, I think, offers a little bit more diversity. But I think Wiggins, because of his name value and his popcorn scoring, I think there's a good chance you could lure somebody in with that.
Off the top of your head, do you know how many steals Andrew Wiggins is averaging right now?
I'm gonna guess 1.
He's averaging 0. He hasn't
0.
he hasn't even got a steal yet in the season.
Okay, well that's good. I feel better about that.
See, so I mean that's what you're
How
getting.
many rebounds is he averaging? That's the real thing to me. Because what is he at? Like 2, 3?
He's at 3.7, so he's closer to 4.
Okay, he's doing better than I expected. But my issue with him is, he's like a 20 points a game guy, and that's it.
Yeah, so he's going to be your points guy. I think he's getting 10 3-point free throws per game. So he's becoming the new DeMar DeRozan.
Exactly.
He's the young DeMar DeRozan. So that's what you're expecting from Andrew Wiggins. I know he's trying to expand his range. It's just not going, but he's playing well. He's shooting 52% from the field. He's shooting 70% from the free throw line, getting to the free throw line 10 times, 1.3 3-pointers, which isn't, I mean, that's not terrible. You want him to start taking threes. He's taking them after only averaging 0.7 last year, 23.7 points. So the points are up. He's 0.1 better in reboundings with 3.7 and 1.3 assists per game, and it's 0.7 blocks per game, but he is turning the ball over close to 3 times at 2.7 per game. So that's
and we talked about him, I know, like right at the beginning of the season, and because he was where was he being drafted? Maybe like a 5th round guy or something. And I remember talking about that. I felt bad for people that were doing that just because of his name value and scoring. But looking
end
at
of the
now,
5th round, I think fine though.
Yeah, right now he's posting 14th round value though. I mean, it's just like his stats just isn't fantasy friendly in my opinion. So
it's just if you need points.
Yeah.
That's all he's going to give you is points and free throw percentage. And right now it's only 70%, so it's really actually not that great. But he's getting there 10 times, so hopefully it goes in. We're running out of time here, guys, so we're going to kind of speed through this. So if you do have questions, start sending them in now because we're running out of time. We're going to cut this one here soon. We've already gone overtime a little bit because we've had so much fun here on Fantasy NBA tonight. Please, guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button so that we know that you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys haven't done so yet, hit subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go subscribe to the iTunes channel. Just go to iTunes, type in Fantasy NBA Today, and you'll find the Hoop Ball logo. And also, if you guys can do us a huge favor, not only will you guys like it, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share it with your friends, let them know that we are here and we are ready to answer all of your guys' Fantasy NBA Tonight questions and Fantasy NBA Today, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. To noon, and then on nights from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. But this is a premium product. This is the last week of it being free, John. This is the last week where we get to talk to the entire public for free until it's for our premium subscribers. And so for those of you who are like, wow, you guys don't even, why would you guys make this go into, a premium mode? It's because we want to be able to talk with you more in depth. We want to start getting into the Brewski 150. We want to start going into our in-season products. Our in-season calculator that they're working on right now is just ridiculous. I've seen it. I've seen what they're working on, the numbers that they're putting together with that, with Aaron Brewski, John Schifferly, Pandador. I mean, they're working on a lot of things right now for the in-season products that haven't even been unveiled yet. So you guys definitely want to go do that. As of right now, it's $19.99, and I believe that's going on actually all the way up until Sunday. So we're actually going to give a promo code out right now here at the end of the show. If you use promo code SWISH, that's right, SWISH, SWISH, you will get 15% off the Hoop Ball in premium in-season membership, which is already $19.99, cheaper than the $29.99, and all of that is still cheaper than any of the big box sites to continue getting these type of shows. Excuse me. The Monday lineup shows, the Sunday waiver wire shows. We have all of these shows coming out to you guys for the premium in-season members. It's only $19.99 right now, but if you use promo code SWISH, it's 15% off that price. So go use that code today. But again, start firing in your questions. We're going to answer that here as fast as we can in this rapid fire round of Fantasy NBA. And I want to thank all of you guys once again for joining us here on this Thursday edition of Fantasy NBA Tonight. I am Lucas says, are you guys worried about Curry and Thompson? Both are big scorers, and it seems like Durant's getting the bulk of the shots. Are you worried about Curry or Thompson at all?
I think Thompson might not be able to meet his value from last season or projections, but I'm not worried about Curry. He'll be fine. Yeah, I think Thompson might take a little bit of a hit. That's just kind of what happens. It seems like when there's less shots going your way and your value is based on shooting. But yeah, so he may be the one that suffers a little bit. I think Curry gets it back together, gets going again.
Yeah, Curry's gonna be just fine. I think it's still Curry's team. He's just, I think he's fine. I think Klay Thompson is the guy who's been taking the hit, and we've been seeing it so far. Last year he shot 47% for the field. Right now he's shooting 40.9%, 90% from the free throw line, which is just fine. He's only getting there 2.8 times. So is he that really helping you? That's a bit of a question mark. He's only averaging 0.8 3-pointers made per game. You know that's going to change. Tonight he hit 4 3-pointers, so you're not really worried about the 3-point numbers. But the points, 22 points last year. He's averaging 16.8 right now to start the season. 3.8 rebounds is down to 3.5. The assist numbers are up to 3 on the dot from 2.1. 0.8 steals is down to 0.5. 0.6 blocks is down to 0.3. 1.7 turnovers is down to 1.5. So that's good to see. But Klay Thompson is a slow starter. I think he will be picking it up. I just think this is also a great buy low moment on a guy like Klay Thompson. But it does worry me. I do think Klay Thompson may get into that Harrison Barnes role. That's the worry about what was the worry going into it. So, yeah, I'm worried about Thompson. I'm definitely not worried about Curry.
Yeah.
Tom Cusack says, think George Hill can make me like a Serge Ibaka? Yeah. If you wanted to, I don't want Serge Ibaka. I think you can get a Vucevic with the George Hill. You can get a Vucevic for the – if someone offered you George Hill for Nikola Vucevic, would you take that?
One more time, what's the deal?
Well, right now he's saying right now Tom says, is George Hill worth the Serge Ibaka? I think you can even get one better and get Nikola Vucevic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, like we talked about, George Hill is probably going to fall back off to be more of like a, I don't know, 8th round guy or something like that. And
3-and-D guy.
Yeah. But he's so efficient that he can still hold top 80 or so. But yeah, I think Vooch is great value if you can get him.
Yeah, I think you at least try for Vooch. If you can't get Vooch, go after Ibaka. But I think you can still go after a guy like Vucevic and say that's okay.
Where do you have Ibaka on the year?
I have Ibaka crap on the year. He got drafted way too early. I think he got drafted in like the 4th round, which is just ridiculous.
But do you think he outproduces George Hill?
No, see, I don't.
Yeah.
Even when Hayward and Favors is healthy, I don't think he outproduces George Hill. Next question comes from Ben Carnado. Says Noah has been dropped in my league for A Johnson.
Amir Johnson.
Oh, for Amir. I was like, who the heck is Amir? In my league for Amir Johnson? Is he worth a pickup? My centers are Embiid, Markieff Morris, and Whiteside, Gortat, and Porzingis. No, you don't need them. Yeah. Hey, HB team, Ennis just can't do it. How long? I don't know why, but I thought he was gonna say Cantor somewhere. I like this was a pun. Yeah. Ennis just can't.
Ennis Cantor do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Moailani says, how long do you give him for sure moving him to the bench? How long do I give him? See, we talked about him a little bit earlier on the show. If you missed it, we are a little bit worried. I think this is a guy that you're going to get the double-doubles. I do think he's going to get the minutes. He's going to have a role with this team. But I think you're going to have to sell high on a guy like Enes Kanter as soon as he gets a good couple games in. Is there anything else that you think about Enes Kanter, about whether you should sell high or if you should, just sit tight with him?
I mean, if you can't even sell high, go ahead and do it. I mean, he was already ranked higher than I would have drafted him. So it's just one of those things. I mean, I really don't like his season, his stat set. And now that they've traded to add another defensive forward, it kind of makes you think, his contributions are only going to be limited to score. And so it's a matter of whether he's on or not. And so what are you going to get out of him? You're going to get maybe, what does he average? Like 12 points a game or something like that. And I feel like you can get that scoring out of some other waiver wire ad.
I think you can almost get everything that you're getting from Enes Kanter right now from Trevor Booker.
There you go.
Isn't that true though? Is that not like exactly what you're going to be?
Yeah, and Trevor Booker's he's got a clearer path to minutes, and he's actually producing right now, which is more than we can say about Kanter.
Yuha says 12-team 9-cat head-to-head. Which guy would you like to pick up for rest of season? John Lure or Justin Hamilton? I think this is a great question.
Ooh, yeah, I think I'm going Justin Hamilton.
I think I'm going to go Justin Hamilton too, but if an injury happens to Tobias Harris or Marcus Morris, John Lure's looking at an uptick in minutes, and I really like John Lure next to Andre Drummond. It's a great fit.
Don't you put that evil on Tobias, though.
I can't put it on Marcus Morris either because I picked him up in a
Oh,
couple weeks
okay.
and got. So knocked on wood. Movie dude, is Trevor Booker worth keeping? I think so. I think he's definitely worth keeping if you need a double-double guy, but he doesn't give you much defensively. But if you need a double-double guy, I think he's worth keeping. What about you, John? Is Trevor Booker worth keeping?
Yeah, I think, like I said, he's got clear path to minutes, and he seems like he's producing right now. So I don't see any problem keeping him for now.
Dan Besper says, "Dang, big turnout tonight. Makes me think maybe people were watching the TNT games, huh?"
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, well, they must have fell asleep watching that game. We're like, woke back up, saw, still a blowout. Let's go check out Fantasy NBA tonight. Plus, on top of that, Dan, I'm back on. So they wanted to come chit-chat with this guy. And, of course, the best lawyer on YouTube, the one and only John Sill. And I think that will be our show. That'll be a great way to end it. But first, John, one, I want you to tell the fans where they can find you online. And two, I want you to tell Dan to suck it since you're beating him right now.
yeah, Dan, go ahead and check that box score between us and fantasy whenever you get the chance, and let me know how you feel about it. But for all of our watchers, you can find me on Twitter. The tag is at John R. Sill, John with an H, R. Sill.
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms of at VM Center. Just to round out the show a little bit here, Movie Dude says, I saw Serge Ibaka going in the third round in Yahoo Leagues. All I can do is laugh.
Mm-hmm.
All I would do is laugh and say, so for you. Yuha says, thanks, guys, as usual. Thank you so much, Yuha, for joining us. Thanks to everyone who joined us on this chat today. At John R. Sill, John with an H. You guys go follow him. If you guys need a business lawyer, hit him up. At VM Center on Twitter. The site at Hoopball Tweets on Twitter. Bookmark the site, hoop-ball.com. Subscribe to the YouTube show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. Go to iTunes. Type in Fantasy NBA Today. Subscribe there. Leave us a rating. Follow Dan Besper since he's in the chat. And Dan Besper. And that has been our show today, guys. Once again, I want to thank all of you guys who joined us on this Thursday during a primetime matchup of the boring game of the Golden State Warriors versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. It was the game that disappointed me the most. We were back with you tomorrow on that Fantasy NBA Today show. Dan Bespris will be on that show. It will be on the iTunes show. You guys need to go there. You guys need to go subscribe. Please do us a huge favor, not only with this show, with the iTunes channel. Like it, subscribe to it, and share it with everyone so everyone can continue listening to these amazing shows and joining us live here on YouTube. Again, thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great weekend. If I don't get to talk to you, use promo code SWISH for a 15% discount. And until next time, good night.